All right, let's see if we can get this thing going. Okay. A little later than I wanted to get started, but so be it. We're here. All right. Well, we are back. And we are on the lava planet we found last time around. And I told you I would do some things offline, and I did. So what I basically did is I took all of the copper and all of the iron and brought them to one point near our, what do we call this thing? Interstellar Logistics Station. Yeah, that thing. So I brought it all here to this location, and then using a creative layout of belts, rather, I've tried to evenly distribute the production of all things iron and copper, and basically the ultimate goal of this spot here on the planet, if I go to map here, you can kind of see it, was the production of things that create the little green electromagnetic turbines. That was the goal. I think I've done that. But one of the other things I also want to make here, since copper isn't being used nearly as much as iron is, I do also want to make, and what do we call them? Can't remember the exact name. Oh, they are these things, the processors. We have almost everything we need to make processors, with the exception of a large quantity of silicon. We don't really have that. So we need silicon ore. We don't have a whole ton of it, but I'm thinking what we can do is go ahead and start laying that out. I did a lot of the grindy stuff, taking all the copper and all the iron, bringing it to this point. But now if I go around and collect up some of the silicon, and we can get that going, and we can start making those things as well. Okay, now I'm kind of thinking, depending on how this goes, I've got room for more assembly machines just yet. I want to see how well the production keeps up here before I start adding any more. But the way I see it, I think this could be the galactic source of our electromagnetic turbines. I think that would be good. I've got it laid out pretty, compared to the stuff I usually do, a lot more organized, I think. But I think it's time. I think we've got the copper capacity over here that we can really stand to add the production of processors. I've used tons of sources of iron ore and copper with balancers like this right here. This is a balancer arrangement. It seems to be working pretty well, and so I'm hoping that this could work, that this will work throughout the game as a good source of these green motors. I think I can expand it and make it better. We'll see. And again, also, if I can set up interstellar logistics systems here, logistics stations here that actually bring more copper and more iron, among other things, maybe even more silicon. And that's one thing I want to do this anyway. If I can set that up here, I think we can use this as a galactic source of processors as well. And I'm thinking here that we'll be able to just within this solar system, if we go ahead, go to V, let's take a look at our overall source of silicon ore. It's not huge, but I do believe we could set this solar system up as a good place to process silicon for these things, for the processors. But I'm kind of doubting whether or not it will really work as an overall source. Like, is it going to be worth the effort to make a huge galactic-sized processing plant that the whole galaxy will use? I don't know about that. Where is our home? It is Rancha. And even there, we have like probably a little more than a third of the silicon that we have in our home system. So this system is not busting with silicon, but I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to build a system that processes a whole crap ton of silicon. I want to make sure that system actually has a bunch of silicon on its own, and this one does not. But still, considering what the infrastructure that's here now, I don't think it would be a terrible thing if we go ahead and set this place up as well. You know? Okay, so I've already set up a whole bunch of smelters here, and I'm thinking I'll do the same thing with titanium. Oh yeah, so what do we have for titanium here? We have a crap ton. And as far as titanium in this system goes, not a crap ton as compared to, you know, for being a whole system, but it's all on this planet, which leads me to think that maybe we go ahead and set that up as well, right? Set up a whole bunch of titanium processing. That might be good. So let's go ahead and do that, I think. And we're going to make it look somewhat like this one, I think. Okay, so I've got this all heading this way of the output. So I will go ahead, put that there, and then we'll make another one. We'll make another, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. Okay, so I made 30. How many smelters do I still have? 11. I'm gonna have to make more. All right. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go ahead and set up another one of these things. Right about there, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and set up another array of smelters, and this one's gonna smelt titanium. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a subject, what do you call it? A topic question for anybody who's actually watching, if anybody's here, while I do this grindy stuff. So my wife hit me with this question out of the blue, and she's asked me, "Hun, let me ask you a question. How often do you think about the Roman Empire?" Caught me off guard. And then I'm like, she's like, just answer the question. How often would you say you think about the Roman Empire? And I'm like, well, I don't know, once a week maybe? And then this crazed look, I don't want to say crazy look, but this, not even a surprised look. How do I say this? It's when someone's shocked, but they're not shocked. Like, they knew that was the answer that was coming, or they were... I don't know how to describe it. She was surprised that that was the answer that came out, but at the same time, it was almost like some expectation of hers just got met. It's I don't know how to describe it, but like, wow. Like, it didn't shock her, but yet the answer surprised her. I don't know how to describe that when people do that, but and I caught that. I'm like, what? Like, someone told her a bit of news, and that news, and then she's like, as if she said, "Oh, I don't believe my husband would do that." And then all of a sudden she asks me, and then I give her an answer that she didn't think would possibly come. And so that was the sort of response I got. And I was like, so that's, of course, I was like, what are you talking about? And then she calls up this article that apparently this is a thing that was going around the internet, basically, that, you know, women are asking their significant others, men, how often does your man think about the Roman Empire in any context? And apparently, for them, for women, they're like, oh, I never think about the Roman Empire, ever, never, once a year. And I'm like, well, and then they're asking their men, and their men are like, oh, I think about it once a day or a couple times a week. And for me, saying once a week, that was, I don't know, that was the question caught me off guard, so I really didn't give it a whole lot of thought. But as I thought about it, in reality, I would say maybe not daily, but every other day, certainly a couple times a week, a few times a week. So if I was being absolutely truthful about it, the answer was a couple times a week, but a few times a week, sometimes daily. In fact, it wasn't that long ago that I just got finished listening to a series on YouTube, which is actually from the History Channel, but for some reason it's on YouTube, called Engineering an Empire, and hosted by Dr. RoboCop himself, Peter Weller. Really great series. And one of the first episodes is about the Roman Empire. So I don't know what to think. Anyway, it was an absolutely foreign concept to my wife that this could possibly be true of me. And I'm like, well, I mean, she's asking me, well, how is that even possible? I'm like, hon, you know me. I mean, by trade, when I was in the army, I'm an engineer, and if you know anything about the Romans, so many firsts came out of the Roman Empire in the field of engineering. And she's like, well, yeah, but I mean, that's okay. So that's you. Fair. But what is it specifically about men? And she starts reading this article about how, and then somebody threw out, well, it could be it's because the whole culture was patriarchal, and the way they treat women, and I'm like, well, I don't think so, hon. And even she didn't really believe that. She's like, well, that could be somebody's, whoever wrote the article, that could be their liberal bent on it. Like, oh, that must be it. And I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with that. Had it been run by women, I think it would be just as intriguing. Actually, in fact, more intriguing, because it would have gone against, if they would have been that successful and gone against, the prevailing culture throughout cultures, that women are kind of secondary or property and all that. But if women had been running it, it would have been more intriguing. But I'm like, well, I don't think so, because I don't think people think about it. Hey, look at this great thing that men did. I think it's deeper than that. I think people look at the Roman Empire like, well, this is amazing. This thing that, up until this point, nobody had any clue about some of the technology that they came out with. That they, look at the road system, look at the way they conduct war, if you ever watch that series, Engineering an Empire, one of the first things they talk about is how this Roman army went into Germany, what is now Germany, found a river, a very significant river, certainly a major geographic barrier to anything that was going on, for anything to go on in that particular area of the world. And it was certainly a geographic barrier to Rome's enemies. And they kind of looked at it almost as I don't know if it was the Visigoths or whoever, but they looked at it as we're safe on this side of the river, on the east side of the river. The Romans aren't going to come here. And this, I don't know if it was a centurion or this Roman general, I don't think it was an emperor himself, but I think the general basically showed up and said, watch this, yo, and proceeded to build a bridge. He built this incredibly amazing wooden bridge across this river and marched his army across in no time. We're talking like 10 days or something. He built this bridge, marched his army across it, and just marched around on the other side of the river for a few days on the I will say bad guys in their eyes, marched across their side of the river and then went back. I mean, it's almost like they thumbed their nose at this other army and they basically thumbed their nose at this other army like, hey, we can come over here anytime we want. Then marched back to the west side of the river and disassembled the bridge behind them and returned to Rome. I mean, that's freaking crazy. And we're talking about a bridge that even today, it would be nobody would attempt this. Nobody would ever build a bridge like that without it being, oh, we're going to put a whole bunch of effort into building this bridge and it's going to be a permanent part. We would never build a bridge like this as a temporary bridge. And they did it 2,000 years ago. So, I don't know. I kind of explained to my wife, I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. So, these are the sort of things, if you ever look back, here I am, this is my wood shop. And when I'm in my wood shop doing wood shoppy things, I let my mind wander. And when I do, I think about, again, I'm an engineer by trade, or at least I was before being self-employed, and I think about engineering things. And one of those engineering things happens to be the Roman Empire. So, again, I pose the question, why do men think about the Roman Empire? Why is that a thing? And y'all put it out to y'all. Put it in the comments. If whoever is listening is male, if any of y'all are male, and to be totally fair, my analytics say that people who almost all of the people who do actually watch are male. And okay, so do you think about the Roman Empire? How often do you think about the Roman Empire? And why? I will add that. Wonder what context, because here's my thought. So I'm sitting here trying to think with my wife, okay, well, why is it that men would think about it? Why men? Why not women? Or is there anything that women think about in the same way that's like, it has nothing to do really with your life? How do I say this? But I mean, obviously what the Romans did does affect our lives. But is there anything that's basically, it's knowing or not knowing about the Roman Empire doesn't, you can go through your life and not think about them, but you concentrate on the things you need to do to get through your life. You pay bills, you get up in the morning, you go to work, you do all your things. But do you think about the Roman Empire? It could be no, but is there anything that women similarly think about that, and under what context? And my wife and I think my wife gave it the old college try, actually trying to think about like, well, what is there anything that for me is the same? And maybe some of the home improvement things, but that's not a woman thing. That's a Julie thing. That's what my wife thinks about. But what is it that women think about? And again, it kind of begs the question, well, why is it men think about the Roman Empire? And I told her, well, I don't know. It's the Roman Empire per se that men are intrigued about. But it's almost like there's something there for everyone. Because if you think about it, the Romans did a lot of things. Oops, hang on. Let's do that. The Romans did a lot of things. This is going to be all jacked up, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be jacked up. Okay. Not the least of which is their engineering prowess, but they also, think about somebody who's interested in NASCAR. There's certainly plenty of them. Might not sound like somebody who's all about some engineering, but, they love some auto racing. Well, think about where that started, when... Now, obviously, NASCAR, yeah, had its start in the Prohibition era, but auto racing in general, the Romans were racing chariots, so there's something to be intrigued about for almost everybody. If you're a venture capitalist, you could look at the way the Romans had markets and everything, or actually Middle Ages too, but if you're interested in marketing, if you're interested in the psychology of people in a big place, you could think about the fact that they the Romans had their forums, their markets, their republican form of government, I wouldn't say a democracy, but they had an empire, but they also had their republic, which is pretty intriguing. So, if you're interested in government, if your field of expertise is art or whatever it is, you can almost look at, there's something, whatever your interest is, you could probably find something to relate to. And so anyway, there was something we were just talking about, like what is the deal about the Roman Empire, and why is so I don't know, my thought was, well, I don't think it's really the Romans per se, but at the same time there's a lot there to be interested in. And then it begs the question, okay, well, why men? And the only thing I can think of is, well, women are multitaskers, but if knowing my wife, she focuses on the here and now. She's got a million different things in her head that she's thinking about, and they are not almost nothing that doesn't have to do with the here and now. She's not thinking about something that isn't paying. Everything she's thinking about is the paying of bills, the shipping of packages, the keeping track of customers, and for the business that we run, and all of these things. Those are the things that are on her mind. And so to waste energy thinking about the Roman Empire or anything else is like, it's just a foreign concept to her. So, and if you just think about the women in your life that you've grown up with, in my experience, it's like whether it's my mother, my sisters, cousins, whatever, it's, men are the ones that think up the crazy ideas and get themselves into trouble. And I'm looking for silicon, but not a ton on this planet. And because of that, it's ours. Our minds wander, and it kind of makes me wonder. Maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe it's because men are more likely to think of things that are not about the here and now, that are consider problems or consider things that are less practical and more academic, like the Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire doesn't matter. But when we're sitting here, I'm sitting here in my wood shop doing things, it doesn't occupy my entire brain, and I can sit and think about other things like, roads. Like I said, I'm an engineer. Let's think about roads. Why are there so many dang potholes? You know, that meme that was kind of going around about, you know, the Romans and their roads that are still in good shape after all these years, and our highway departments can't seem to make a road last more than 5 years without some potholes. So anyway, just something to think about. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking, I'm not going to bring one. I'm not just going to bring one belt. I could bring a bunch. So here's what I'll do. I want to balance all of these. And how can I do that? So I'll put in another one of these and I'll balance it. So yeah, anyway, just so while you're, if you want to put something, if you want to chew on something, you know, chew on that, put that in the comments. Why is it you know, if you're male, or, you know, if you're female, why would you think about the Roman Empire? What is it about it that intrigues you? Or, you know, maybe you don't think about it at all. Maybe, but from the sound of things, the average answer from these articles we kept reading was about once a week among men. And, you know, women are like, I don't know that there was a specific figure given, just a lot of, why would you think about that? You know, men doing crazy men things. But I promise you, it has nothing to do with the patriarchy. It's just take a closer look at the empire and think, you know, look at the stuff that they did. To me, that's what intrigues me. Mostly the engineering side of it. Hadrian's Wall went all the way up to England and just built a major military structure, you know, thousands of miles away from the seat center of the empire. I mean, that's pretty cool. Okay, let me take a look at the map real quick. We're gonna look around for more silicon, and I think there were only these 3 patches. I think. I mean, there's not a lot. What did I just drop? I just dropped something. Okay, yeah, just dropped something. And my arm's doing that thing where it just wants to go numb. Not cool. Okay, so yeah, I think we've just done it. I think we've actually captured all. I mean, since the total is 3.7 million, and the patches that are visible here is 1.4 million. Actually, about 1.5 million, and then 1.1 million. So that's 2.6, and then is that right? Yeah, and then there's this almost 600 million vein, or I'm sorry, not 600 million, 600,000 vein right there. So yeah, I'd say we're close. I'd say that brings us into the ballpark. All right, so we're gonna bring these 2 belts. And then I'll probably do the same thing with titanium. I'll get a little titanium going, but in all likelihood, I'll probably do titanium off camera, off stream. Yeah, I didn't bring quite enough belts to do all the titanium, so and I didn't set up a I didn't set up like a temporary belt production base here because I want to use level 3 belts as much as possible as I explore this universe, as I explore this galaxy. I'd like to use the fast belts because they seem to be getting me the best production level, I think. So we're going to go with that. And I think we should have enough belts to make this happen. Yeah, that's 90 something. So yeah, we should be good. And my arm going numb. All right. At a building range, really? Okay, right there. Come on. There we go. Alright, is that gonna work? Yep, go ahead, do your thing. Also started building a couple of geothermal plants here to kind of help with the power needs. And there are a few. I mean, I'm actually surprised, given everything that we've set up, I'm surprised that we have had enough power to do everything we've wanted to do. Little bit shocked, honestly. Alright, so can I... No, I'm gonna have to go around it, I think. I'm gonna make this look somewhat neat. And then... Yeah, we'll go like that. Okay. We've got this titanium vein right here. Let's go ahead and build up the foundation around this so we can exploit this titanium. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's going to be one of the first things we exploit. Alright. So, I don't know if anybody's watched, anybody pays a whole lot of attention to this game, but they the developers have released information saying that the combat system in this game, which of course has to do with the enemies that are in this game, the Dark Fog, is going to be released this year, a couple months, in December. Wow, December's just a couple months away. Oi. That's a thought. Oh, wow. This belt is unoccupied. Oh, there we go. My drones have seen the problem and they're solving it. Okay, good. How are we doing for energy levels? Yeah, we're good. It's nice to not have to think about them anymore. Pretty damn cool. Okay, okay, I can actually... I think I can actually go right here. I'll go right in between... right in between... Actually, I'll go right here. Right in between these solar cells. Yeah. Alright. Then, since this is silicon, I'll bring it up to here, up to here, up to here, and up to there. Okay. Well, that'll take care of the silicon. Sort of. At least it's working, but let me get the other belt up here. And I want to see if I didn't put too many smelters here. I don't know if I did or not, to be honest. I think a Mark III belt can more than handle supply to like 15 smelters. I think it can handle it. I'm pretty sure. But we're about to find out. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, easily it's handling it. So yeah, it's actually stacking up now. So we could actually add more smelters. Just the energy level is not there. Yeah, and I think I am probably going to add more smelters, but not at the moment. So let's actually go ahead and get the titanium side going a little bit so we can get titanium building up. Where are we at? As far, I mean, there must be some fairly close. Yeah, like right there. There's some right there. Is there any close by that we can tie into it? A little bit. And there's some right there. So if we get two veins or two patches going of titanium, that'd be good. And then, like I said, later on I'll come by and add more belts. More, oh, you know what? We're actually not going to have the belts to do it, are we? No, this should reach. This should reach. We just might not be able to add the second set. Okay. Question is, have I screwed myself with the layout of the belts? I may have. Oh no, we might be good. There we go. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. Now with the titanium, I think I'm gonna cross over this line of solar cells over here. And I think I'm going to need to use a balancer. Of course, in reality, I should be doing the same thing for the silicon as well. I mean, if I'm going to use this as a place to process silicon, I should have more of an infrastructure rather than just those two little belts. So, I don't know. We'll see. Right there. And there. Okay. Okay, now how many does that belt keep supplied? How many machines? Wow. Really? A full belt actually worked pretty good to keep all of them supplied. Now it's not going to stay full, but that's impressive. That's good to know. Okay. I mean, I'm sure I could probably have done that, figured that out mathematically, but my OGB is not on that right now. That's all there is to it. Okay, do I have any Okay, I don't have any assembly machines, do I? I have none. I could build some. How many level 1 assemblers could I build? 15 at present, and more than that because I have supplies to do it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a bunch of level 1 assemblers and then have them crank away and come back with the appropriate upgrade materials. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So, go ahead, get all that going, and let's get some infrastructure going. No, I can't because I don't have any freaking belts. I'm almost pretty much out of belts. So really the only thing for me to do is go back and then get materials that I need while this thing does its thing. Right? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So, I have 17 warpers plus 32. Making a grand total of 49. Okay. So, with that in mind, let's head back to base. Alright. Okay, let's see where home is at. Yep, right there. Alright, I have energy out the wazoo this time. I've upgraded the energy system in my bot. So I've got energy for days. So I should be able to make this jump with no problem. Yeah, we should be good here. Hell yeah. Yes. Yep, there we go. That's where we're headed, and boom. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Supplies are dwindling here on our home planet, so I'm going out to exploit others. Let's take a look at something real quick. Go to Y and see. Okay, we got 6,200 solar sails up there. Pretty cool. And so we have, it's I labeled the stream, let's build a Dyson sphere. We have built, well, it's not a Dyson sphere, but it's a Dyson swarm, so we're getting there. And I think our supply is not dwindling of supply of solar sails, so soon I'll be thinking we're good to start pushing the other stuff that we need to get going. Okay, let's get that organized for what it's worth. Grab a whole lot of belts, and then let's get the stuff we need. What do we need to make these? We need processors, which I've got over here. And again, we're going to ship these. And then we need these graphene. Is that what this is? Graphene? Yeah. Can't remember what it was called. Alright, so we can start building these puppies. And... okay. What we also need to do here is, let's see if we can get these lean, green, mean machines coming. And local demand. And we should have a bunch of them on the way. Oh no, not local demand. Remote demand. Local supply, remote demand. And we should have some on the way. Yeah. And then with that in mind, we're gonna bring some... where is the... right here. Where's the assembly machine? Okay, right here. This is where we normally store them. We don't have them yet because we keep running out of them. So these electromagnetic turbines, we're gonna draw from the planetary logistics system. And okay. Now I get we could use the drones to carry them, but those are okay. But in huge quantities, you really want to use the the belts. I'm good with the belts. Okay, let me snake the belt in there first, and then think about how we want to reach that snake. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking we can go right in between there, maybe? Can we? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Right there. And then right to there. Drop there. Oops. There, right there. Okay. This will keep that supplied. Now we just gotta reach this right here. Can we do that? I think we can. Let's start right here. Maybe right here. Yeah, let's do it right there. To there. Okay, right to there. Then let's drop down. And let's go up. And right to there. Okay. So now we can get an idea where we need to aim. So let's get across the system of belts right here. Into right about there. Can we cross that? Boy. Oh, okay, because those are so packed with stuff, so we can't go that way. I mean, there comes a point where there's just too many belts. In one specific area, there's too many belts. And there is. Okay. So now we hit that. I know this seems counterintuitive, but for some reason it's easier. I find it easier to sort of work backwards when it comes to belts. Now I gotta see where it was. Huh? Okay, is that gonna work? Sorry, this is the grindy, snaking of belts that you gotta do. Oh, god damn it. Really? Alright, now where was it we were going? All the way over there. Okay. Alright. This is how spaghetti happens, in case you ever wondered. This is where spaghetti comes from. Okay, ratcha. Ratcha. Can I hit it? Can I hit it? Ah, fudge. Okay, boom, boom. Will that work? Yeah, that should work. Okay, we should have our little electromagnetic turbines. Okay. Okay, so they're supplying this place, but we're gonna need them other places as well. Okay, they're coming here, which is good. And let's upgrade that belt. Okay. That'll keep them busy. Yeah. Alright, well, as long as we can keep those turbines coming, things should be good. Now, how does this help us with green science? Because honestly, that's kind of green science and warpers. These are kinds of the things that some of the things that I want to get done. Yeah, these things right here, for example, I am short on these particle containers. So where are the particle containers? Okay, so we've got plenty of green motors to make them happen. So I'm kind of thinking we increase the number of machines for this. That's my thought. They're kind of slow. These things, they get made very slowly. So I'm thinking we should add a couple more. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Add a few more particle containers to kind of help boost our green science production, I think. That should help. Should help warper production. But there's also something else we can do. And if we go to the star map, where is it? I think it's right here, right? This is the black hole. 9 light years away. And it has unipolar magnets. Unipolar magnets can be used to make particle containers as well. Okay, what's this? Okay, if we take a closer look at this. The planet has fire ice, fractal silicon, unipolar magnets, and very crappy wind. Solar isn't terrible, but it's not great. It's 90%, so we'd have to add a whole bunch of solar arrays. But, as it happens, we have a whole bunch of solar arrays. but unipolar magnets, this is kind of a good place to, since it has unipolar magnets. The only other place I know of is the neutron star, and we can use the, where is it? The advanced, or is that what it is? Yeah, the advanced production recipe right there. We can use unipolar magnets and copper. There is some copper there. Or we could just ship the unipolar magnets home and produce it at home. We could do that. Huh. So I'm leaning toward going there. And then just setting up the titanium. Oh man. Yeah, we also want to do processors, right? Well, you know what? We've got time. How much? Yeah, we've got time. Let's see what we can do. Okay, maybe that's something, or even if we end up doing it next time, we can do it next time. Okay, so what do we have for assemblers? We've got 11 of the Mark II assemblers. Can we make any more? Because I would like to at least start production on processors, although they're not super critical as far as our needs go. We've got a bunch of them. They're all stored up, but I know we can set something up though to make them faster. All right, we'll go back to our other planet. It actually won't take a super long time to do this since we've got. We'll probably grab some more inserters, sorters they're called, and we've got plenty of belts. Let's get some more, maybe. Okay, and then let's grab some iron real quick. And then let's start building these. Nine, that makes 20. Let's grab a few more. Yeah. Sort those out. And, okay, what else would we need? We'd need mining machines to get the unipolar magnets. Yeah, I think we'd be good. I think we'd be good. I think we've got everything we would need. Because I kind of want to do a big triangle. I want to go do the lava planet, but I also want to go do the unipolar magnets. And we'll grab those. And top that off. Yeah, can't think of anything else we'd need. Let's go back to Naos. Wherever that is. Naos, there we go. Go back to our lava planet, Naos 1. Should just give this a name, honestly. And boom. Ugh. Asshat? Is the name of that system Asshat? Okay, here we are. Okay, so the question is, how far are we? Did we get closer to the black hole or farther away? intercept the planet here. Okay, so let's take a look at the map for a second. Did we get closer or farther away? That's important. Yeah, we got a little farther away. Okay, so it might not be as easy a trip as I thought, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to go for it anyway. Okay, so all I'm trying to do here is get some assembly machines going to make processors. What do I need to make processors? I think I need the green chips and some silicon, am I right? And I have green chips because I set ourselves up to make those as well. So where are we? Yeah, green chips. Oh, we have to... Oh, right. Crap, we actually have to make the microcrystalline components, then make the processors. Okay. So we need silicon and copper. Almost forgot about that. Okay, so we got room over here. Well, I'm glad I made so many damn assembly machines. How many did I make? 28. Okay. Alright, well, so be it. We'll make 10 machines that make these microcrystalline components. And since this is probably the only thing I'm going to use silicon for, I'll use both belts that I can pull out of the supply. I've got 2 open slots. Now I've got 1. Well, this port isn't occupied. Use that dang port. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll bring both belts. I suppose... Let me see. I suppose I can make a bunch of level 1 machines as well. I can do that. And then we can upgrade them later because this is not the critical... This is not the critical component. What we are short on is particle containers, so maybe we save the green machines for the planet on the black hole. The planet going around the black hole. We could do that. Oh, hello? We can make more. We can make more. And now we're short on graphene. Alright, well, let's see how many of the level 1 machines we can make. Alright. I'll actually grab some more of this and make even more. How about them apples? Alright. We must be pushing our power limit here. Oh, yes we are. Yes we are. Dang. Okay then. I figured as much. Alright, so I need copper for this. Okay. Oh, is that green? Why do I have green? Oh, because I upgraded. Okay, right. let's bring the one around this way. Okay. We get 2 sources of copper up in here. Right to there. I'm trying to do it really with as few, you know, with as few turns and twists as possible. That way at least we can keep it looking sort of clean, but I mean, the spaghetti, yeah, it's basically inevitable. I don't know what to tell you. We cannot avoid the spaghetti. Okay, so I said we're making this microcrystalline components here for silicon, or for the processors. Okay, so let's create a spot that we can collect the output. And I'm leaning toward this direction up in here. Okay, let's do that. Okay. And put this over here. Oh, do we have any storage? I'm not sure we do. Yeah, I guess we must have it somewhere. Yep, there we go. Right there. Okay. Alright, how many of these will I make? Let's maybe do 10 of assorted advancement levels. So let me see, how many of these do I have? How many of the advanced ones do I have? I have 33. I'd like to save some. Let's do 8. That's got to be basically pushing the level of of the power, of the available power. I really think it is. Yeah, I really think that's pushing the limit of the available power. Why did I not attach the outputs? Dang it. Eventually we'll add more as I add more power to this location. Okay, so we've got the microcrystalline components right there, and then we'll get some processors going, I think. Where are we at for power? Yeah, we're hurting. We are hurting. Can I actually build any more of these? Oh, I might be able to. Make 5 of those. Okay. I'm making a couple of geothermal plants so that we can kind of take up some of the slack. Some of the slack, well, rather, so we can release a little bit of slack. So we give ourselves a little more wiggle room.